Welcome to Brighter Shore Central, and in this video we're going to be talking about some of the breaking news that has happened in relation to Brighter Shores and some of the hidden information that I've managed to find within some of the documentation about this upcoming MMORPG. And we're going to get right to the point, and this is information regarding trading in Brighter Shores. It's also information regarding PvP in Brighter Shores and the overall rules that are going to be there. Now, I want to say that I think I've found something that is essentially a draft document, okay? So I don't think this is the final rules or final thing that's going to be there, right? They're going to update it. I think this is a placeholder website as part of the overall Brighter Shores website, and we're going to go through this and the information in this. Now, how I got to this is I had to read the third-party documentation that is on the Steam page, okay? And then on that there's links to this area, which then lays out some of the information that we're going to go through in this video. But I want to get right to the point to make this a shorter video so I don't waste your time. First of all, the rules of Brighter Shores. These are going to be the rules in Brighter Shores as of now. Now, this is a draft document, it seems, so we won't go through them all. Things like nothing inflammatory, nothing illegal. It says here, don't misuse the chat. Hopefully this is common sense, but just in case, here is a non-exhaustive list. But the main area that I want to talk about here, which is in relation to the game, is this one here. It says no advertising. Now, you can tell it's a draft document because they've actually spelled advertising wrong, okay? So it says no advertising, except you can advertise in-game trades, i.e. trading in-game items or currency for other in-game items. So that to me tells me that you can actually advertise your items in game. So if you remember back in old school RuneScape back in the day before Grand Exchange, you had to actually type out what you were selling. So what I can imagine in Brighter Shores, and what this now tells us, is that we're going to be sat in a market area, you know, typing out selling this item or selling that item, or doing a bank sale, you know, like back in the day. And you're going to be able to trade and negotiate with other players. So you're going to be actually advertising your items in the chat, essentially, and typing the information out. Now, this is new to us. We know that there was going to be player-to-player trading. We don't know how it was going to work. But now with this recent information, it seems that we now know that you're going to be able to advertise your items to other players in, say, like a market area, much like old school RuneScape back in the day, and they're like Falador Park, and then sell those items to other players. And this has now confirmed that information via this page here that I don't think we're supposed to be able to see at the moment. Now, so that's interesting. Of course, it says here, no scamming, deceiving other players for your own game. Now, essentially, if you are going to have player-to-player trading, you're going to have people that put in items, take the items out, and then try to get people to accept the trade, you know, like back in the day. So of course they've put that there as no scamming, no sharing of personal information, no asking others for personal information, no spamming. Now there's a couple of other interesting areas here. So first of all, we've got this second rule here of no cheating, so no deliberate bug abuse, no using macroing, so third-party softwares to control or play the game automatically. That's obviously a rule for any MMORPG, pretty much. You're not allowed to play the game automatically through the use of different softwares. No real-world trading, so the ability to obviously sell the goods for real money. No using or creating third-party Brighter Shores clients. Now, this one I'm a bit on the fence with. I don't know if this is a bad or a good thing, because I use Runelight. You know, on old school RuneScape, you got that Runelight, and that is very useful. It actually assists and helps the game. So maybe they could consider this one, maybe reconsider, because I actually think there's nothing wrong with a third-party client, so long as it's got stuff on there that is like obviously within the rules of the game, and it's not like auto software or anything like that. It's just software that kind of assists the gameplay. Maybe though it has inbuilt features and tools in the actual game client that they're running on Steam, so that there's no need for that anyways. So these is where it gets really interesting. This is juicy information. So your account will be suspended or permanently disabled, obviously, if you break maybe one or a number of the rules. Now, moving on from this, I want to move on to the main bit. Now, it says here, trading with other players can be disabled. Of course, if you're doing scamming, for example, they may like disable trading. Okay. Now, here is what's interesting. It says disqualification from the PvP leagues. Okay. Now, what is the PvP league? So, we now know that Brighter Shores is going to have player versus player. That was actually notified in a tweet from Andrew Gower in a few weeks ago, but we don't know what PvP is going to be like in Brighter Shores. It says here that there's going to be PvP leagues. Now, how this is going to work, I don't know, but I'm thinking along the lines of there is going to be some kind of league table that is associated with player versus player league table in terms of singular combat as well. Maybe it is that there's certain leagues that are reset. So, for example, there may be like 12 groups in one league, you know, multiple players, and they all fight it out. And then at the end of the month, they then essentially they have a winner. But PvP leagues, and this is speculation here, of course, but to me, that means that there's going to be some kind of competitive element to PvP. It's not necessarily going to be a case of you just fighting another player in a particular area. There's going to be a competition within the leagues because there's going to be leagues in PvP, right? So it looks like they're going to try to make PvP a competitive element within the game. There is also more confirmation in these rules. It also says something about being disqualified from the leaderboards if you caught breaking the rules. Now, to me, that means that there's going to be leaderboards in Brighter Shores. So does that probably mean that every single skill, every single profession in Brighter Shores, there's going to be a leaderboard for that as well? I think that that's what I can gather from the information that it says there. So on that basis, we're going to see people competing for the highest level in a skill, it seems. And this is the first video to confirm that we do think that there's going to be leaderboards on the game. These are the information that we got so far about Brighter Shores. Is number one, that there is going to be player-to-player trading in the sense that you will be advertising items in Brighter Shores. And number two, you're going to have PvP leagues, which is going to be a competitive element of Brighter Shores as well. And to find this, like I said, I had to go right into the documentation, and I think that this is a draft document, essentially. This is a draft web page. You're not really meant to be, finding this, and I think they're probably going to update some of this at a later date. We can also see, interestingly, at the bottom of the page, it mentions the St. John's Innovation Centre. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think that this is where Andrew Gower once, first started the game. So when it was like RuneScape Classic and moving into RuneScape 2, etc., that was when that was the same location that they did the game. So they're having the same location again, essentially, or a similar location, the same centre, right? So that is interesting as well. But I just thought I'd give a quick update on Brighter Shores and some of the information that I found out. We now know those two things about PvP and trading, and these are confirmed within the rules of the game, which is still probably a draft document. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button, and I'll see everybody in the next video.